Hey, so today I'm going to be reviewing my new NordicTrack S22i stationary bike. I've wanted this bike for quite a while, so I've been happy to get it and try it out. I already own the NordicTrack rowing machine, so I'm pretty familiar with the iFIT system. I'll link in the description of my review over to my rower so you can read some of my critiques there as well. One of the things I really love about having the NordicTrack rower, and one of the reasons I bought my bike, is because my iFIT subscription works on both machines and I don't have to pay for two subscriptions. So it's all under one username. So I can actually add more machines. So if I wanted to have the treadmill or wanted to have any of the others, it would all be under the same account, I guess. So let's go ahead and get started. So my overall review is 4 stars, and there's a couple of minor critiques. So NordicTrack, if you're watching this, I hope you take this to heart because I made a similar review on the rower. Last I looked, I had the #1 review on Amazon for the rower as well. So hopefully they're paying attention, product managers for NordicTrack. So as you can see, this fits pretty nicely here, just out of my basement. If you are reviewing a stationary bike, you're probably between a Peloton, hooking up your own road bike to something like a Wahoo Kicker or some other trainer, or thinking about something like this. What I will say is, if you are going to be competitively racing, you're probably going to want to do what most roadies do and hook your own bike up to a trainer. So this is going to be for more casual riders to kind of semi-serious. I love to ride mountain bike. I don't ride road except when I borrow my brother's bike once in a while. So this was perfect for me. As you can see, it's early to mid-November here, so you can see there's snow on the ground. So I'm going to be stuck inside for the next 5 to 6 months. So this is going to be one of the things I spent a lot of time on. So 4 stars for the review. And it's just some minor critiques, very small things that I'll talk about. So if you are thinking about buying the other stationary bike, so Peloton, most likely, you're thinking, should I buy this? Should I buy the Peloton? I'll tell you why I didn't buy a Peloton. #1 is the resistance is automated on this. So you don't have to turn the dial. I've tried a few Pelotons in like hotel gyms and other places. I really hated like having to focus on getting the dial in right. It felt very analog. It really wasn't a great experience. I really love how the resistance is automatic on this bike. The other one is what you'll see down here, which is the power incline. So it can go from -10% to 20%. And at first I was a little hesitant thinking, I don't know if this is going to be a gimmick or if it will actually add resistance. And I can tell you absolutely it works as intended. So the pump or the jack is back there, but then it will actually move the front of the bike up and down right here. So when it goes, I just finished a ride going through Whistler in Canada, and I'll show you a couple of rides here in a minute. It went up and down and the resistance would stay the same, but the incline would change and get much more difficult. So it was really great. So this is one of my first critiques, is this is how you plug it in and turn it on. There is no off-on switch, similar with the rower. You just have to plug it into the wall. So that seems kind of like an oversight. I would expect an off-on switch somewhere. It's not a deal breaker, but it does feel kind of cheesy that you have to plug it in and unplug it. While it's booting up, and it does take a minute to boot up, so what you want to do is plug it in and then give it 4 or 5 minutes to warm up because it's kind of slow. A couple of other things. #1 is the fan here is really cool. I love that it has a nice big fan. It puts out plenty of output. The problem is the grills are not adjustable. So when this blows, it comes about right here. So I'm mostly getting my forearms air conditioned. It's not actually hitting my face, and I sweat a lot on my face, which is where I really want it. So if you really want to be picky about placement on the wind, you're going to have to buy a separate fan, which kind of defeats the purpose. So a little bit of a ding there on my review. My second big one is speaker location. Speakers are actually back here on the back of this TV. And I don't know what they were thinking when they did that, but it blasts. They're not very good speakers, first of all. They're pretty low quality in my opinion. So they blast a lot of noise out of that back wall. So when I am riding without headphones in, this thing is blasting. You can hear it all the way upstairs. It's really, really loud. is kind of obnoxious to everybody else because the sound quality isn't very good. So what I did is just picked up some knockoff AirPods for about 25 bucks. I'll link those as well. They work just fine for this. They're waterproof, sweatproof, all of that. So, and they're dedicated to this machine. I have AirPods that I love. I have a whole bunch of other headphones, but I wanted to have a set of headphones that's dedicated to this machine rather than trying to deal with pairing all the time. So that's another accessory you just plan on buying, is a set of Bluetooth headphones that you like, over ear, in the ear, whatever you prefer. My other critique is the saddle. So this is the saddle that came with the bike. So as you can see, it looks pretty generic. It's okay quality. It's got some cushion to it here, as you can see. But I did my first ride in just regular exercise shorts, no chamois, no riding shorts. I was numb pretty quickly. It was not comfortable at all. So my second ride, I ended up wearing some biking shorts, which I don't want to have to wear biking shorts while I'm in my house. You may feel differently, but I like to do my weight training as well. And so I don't want to be wearing biking shorts when I'm doing my weights. So I didn't really like that either. So I jumped onto Amazon and found this particular saddle here. Again, I'll link this in my review. So you can see it has a split down the middle, and it's very soft on the side. So it hits your sit bones instead of hitting your pelvic floor. So I got through, my last ride was about 45 minutes, no problems at all. And I'm just wearing regular exercise shorts. So highly, highly recommend changing out saddle. I know it's kind of a personal decision what saddle works best for you. You may prefer your own race saddle. You may prefer something soft. It's just your decision. A couple of other things about the bike. It comes with the toe cages, so you're good to go here. If you want to swap out the pedals and put on your own clipless with your own pedals, you can absolutely do that. You just loosen that and put in a new set of pedals. Our couple members of our family like to ride this, so I just chose to keep the toe clips on. And then also, again, I have my regular workout shoes for when I want to do weights. Plenty of height adjustment settings here, so you can actually move the saddle back and forth all you want. I'm about 6'2", about 185 pounds, and this thing feels super sturdy and it's not going anywhere. Very, very good build quality, very heavy. I set it at about a 28, but it can go higher if you're taller. My daughter, who's about 5'4", drops it down to about the 22, and she can ride it just fine as well. 2 water bottle holders, which is nice. It is magnetic, which I love, so it is completely silent. There is no noise at all when you're spinning, which is fantastic. So if you like to ride early in the morning or other times when, say, your family is sleeping or you're in an apartment or something, it's really nice because there is no noise at all. And if you put the headphones in, then of course the only sound that would be coming is your breathing and maybe the fan running. You do have to hit this push to stop if you want to stop it, which works great. The push to stop is really, really quick, so and easy to find, so you don't have to grope around for it. So placement's great there. Handlebars, very well designed, like it's nice and chunky. It has that like black rubberized grip, so there's no slippage, and if you get sweaty, you're not gonna fall off of it. Your incline, decline button is up here, and your resistance button is here. It does come with these little 3-pound weights if you prefer to do the Studio series, and then they'll have little sequences where you jump off your bike, do some push-ups, do some weightlifting, some squats, other things, and then jump back on the bike. I prefer to do the outdoor rides because I love the outdoors, but you know, you can do whichever one you prefer. The height of the handlebars is adjustable as well, so you can move those up and down. So depending on how you like to sit when you're riding, you can set up your ergonomics in a lot of different ways. So with that, let me jump into some of the iFIT, which I really like. They've really evolved this over the last couple of years. It was okay to start with. It was pretty good. It's gotten better and better. One of the things I love about this versus, say, a Peloton is pretty much all studio. I don't know that they even have any outdoors, whereas the iFIT really focuses on outdoor. And they've got all kinds of trainers that are all professionals or very high-performing riders. Very similarly with the rower, they get former Olympic athletes, and then they take you all over the world. So as you can see here, you've got like Puerto Rico, Colorado, Costa Rica, Japan. Like I just finished one a minute ago called the Middle Earth Trail Ride in British Columbia. Last week I did a ride in Boston. So I went to go see like Bunker Hill, Harvard, other cool places. My daughter did one on the beach in LA through Venice Beach, and the the guy that was giving the tour was like pointing out celebrity homes and other cool facts about the city. So this is a really great way to get out, especially if you're in a cold state where you don't get to get out very much during the winter time. It can be a big relief. The other nice thing is iFIT does these challenges, so they'll have something for fall. They had a really fun one for Halloween. I'll post a photo of that where you were being chased by zombies. It was really fun. I liked that one. There it is right there. So they continue to add new content all the time, as you'd expect. Then you can jump into the studio series or something else. Let's go ahead and jump into one of the regular rides. So we'll continue back for our British Columbia series. Again, the audio, don't love it. I wish they had mounted a couple of higher quality speakers, maybe right here. As you can see, this is the other thing I kind of ding this on is the bevel, bezel on the screen is really wide. So it looks like a TV from about 2010, which isn't a deal breaker. It's just, you're spending a lot of money on a machine. So it's important to pay attention to the details. So you get kind of an overview of the ride. It'll tell you how far, how many calories you're going to burn, how much effort you think it'll put out. You get to rate all of your rides once you're finished, which is really fun. Then when you're ready, you just jump on, hit start workout. I'll jump up here for a second. So depending on how good your internet is, their Wi-Fi card seems okay. It's not, if you're getting spoiled by, say, your mobile phone and are expecting really great stuff, this isn't quite as good, but it's fine. It just takes a second to buffer. The other thing is they have that feed.fm radio, and the feed.fm it's all current pop music, which is okay. So I'm in my late 30s, and so the music I listen to and the music that they play on here are not exactly the same thing. It kind of feels like I'm listening to my daughter's playlist. She's in junior high. So it's okay, it's fine. I just wish they had 3 or 4 different channels. I like to jam out to different music when I ride than say what my daughter might listen to, but it's okay. One of the positives here, so as you're spinning, it'll give you a couple minutes to warm up, but then you can get yourself set up. Also, they do have to their credit, they have some adjustments on the volume. So as you are changing the volume, you can actually adjust the volume specifically for the trainer and then for the music itself. So you can go a little louder on the music. I stopped pedaling. So every time you stop pedaling, it'll go into pause mode and give you 10 minutes to start pedaling again, otherwise it'll shut down. So I'm trying to pedal 1 foot here. So it's a nice feature that has the mixer. Again, I just wish the speakers were better positioned, but if you're gonna use Bluetooth, not a big deal. So let's go ahead and end our warm up. So one thing I love up here at the top, it shows you all of your stats. So if you like to measure by watts, you like to measure by some other feature, you can. It'll show you what your incline is or your vertical gains, your vertical loss. You can measure your cadence, you can measure time elapsed, just tap the screen. The other thing you can do is tap the screen overall and go to full screen. So if you just want it clear.
Right away, let's make sure our legs are spinning a bit. About 60 to 70 RPM. We're going to be talking a lot about cadence today. As I mentioned, we're doing some in and out of the saddle work, which...
So this guy's a pro mountain biker, as he reminds us 3 or 4 times during the ride, but he's a good trainer. I like listening to him. It's a fun ride. The resistance was a little too hard for me at the beginning, and so I had to back it off a little bit, and I consider myself in pretty good shape. So if it's a little too hard, either go to one of the beginner rides or just back off the resistance. You just hit this little button here. One of the nice things about this is it's adaptive, so it will kind of learn how you ride and then adapt your difficulty to your riding style and your ability. And then what's great is as you're pedaling, they're automatically adjusting. So let's go back to out of full screen here. So again, the touchscreen can be a little finicky sometimes. So the resistance will automatically be set, so you don't have to think about this at all. If you like to, you can change the view again to, different statistics. We can go back to numbers. We can go back to our resistance. Our incline now is at 5%, so you can see if I show you the bike, it's now, maybe you're not able to see, it pitches up, pitches down, does that all automatically while you're on your ride. along with the trail, which I absolutely love. So this is the kind of terrain I love to ride. This makes me really happy to be able to see trees. You know, maybe it'd be nice if you could smell the trees, maybe put a little scented pine thing next to your bike if you like the smell of pine trees. But overall, loving this bike. It's really great. Fan has multiple settings. So you go 1, 2, 3, or automatic based on your ride. So again, 4 out of 5 stars, probably more like 4.5. Couple of small critiques around speakers, the fan, the saddle, and the switch. Those are just really small things, but I'm super happy that I bought this bike. I'll be spending a lot of time on it. Hopefully you found this review helpful, and happy shopping.